Hello and welcome to this Pearson Primary History Unit briefing. In this video I'll be taking you through our unit on the medieval monarchs. The national curriculum states that pupils should be taught about a study of an aspect or theme in British history that extends pupils' chronological knowledge beyond 1066. This unit focuses on many of the major monarchs who reigned during the medieval period, which is usually taken by historians to describe the period from 1066 to 1485, which marked the end of the Wars of the Roses. It also includes a lesson on the succession crisis following Edward the Confessor's death, another national curriculum requirement, which states that pupils should be taught about the Viking and Anglo-Saxon struggle for the Kingdom of England during the time of Edward the Confessor. So, let's take a closer look at the workbooklet that pupils will complete as they move through this unit. The booklet begins with a knowledge organiser, which includes the main monarchs who will be the focus of this unit: William the Conqueror, Henry II, King Richard and King John. A key vocabulary list is also included, which sets out many substantive concepts of history, for example peasant, baron and the feudal system. Each of the 6 lessons is framed around an inquiry question. It may be helpful to share this question at the beginning of the lesson to frame the learning, as well as ending the lesson by having pupils jot their key reflections in the learning review column here. Now, let's take a closer look at each of these lessons in turn. The first lesson asks, why was there a succession crisis in 1066? Pupils will learn about how power is passed or claimed from monarch to monarch, and that Edward the Confessor, bearing no children and failing to clearly name a successor, led to multiple claims, including from the Saxon king Harold Godwinson, the Viking king Harold Hardrada, and the Norman nobleman William the Conqueror, who would emerge victorious following the Battle of Hastings. Lesson 2 asks, who was responsible for the death of Thomas Beckett? Pupils will learn that Henry II took the throne following the period known as the Anarchy, in which law and order broke down in England and Normandy following another succession crisis and a civil war. Pupils will then learn about the tension between church and state, as Henry appointed his friend Thomas Beckett as Archbishop of Canterbury. Where power really lay in England became a source of conflict, as Beckett refused a number of Henry's demands, leading ultimately to Henry asking his court, "Will nobody rid me of this turbulent priest?" 4 of Henry's knights promptly rode to Beckett's cathedral and butchered him. Lesson 3 asks, which king was worse, John or Richard? King John is widely held to be one of the worst kings in English history, after losing control of large parts of Normandy and a feud with the barons resulting in the Magna Carta. However, pupils would also consider a revisionist understanding of Richard the Lionheart, who only spent a few months of his reign in England and was kidnapped on his way back from the Third Crusade, a campaign in which he failed to take Jerusalem, and had to be ransomed at huge expense to England. Lesson 4 asks, what makes a great medieval monarch? This lesson will introduce pupils to the idea that the standards by which monarchs were judged historically are not necessarily the same which we would use today. For example, pupils will have already seen the turmoil that can arise from succession crises, and so ensuring that a number of clear heirs are in place will be viewed as one particular quality. Success in foreign wars, the ability to fight in and lead battles, as well as administering the country will also be considered. Lesson 5 asks, how did power change during the medieval period? A key historical skill is understanding abstract concepts like power and how individuals and events can influence where it lies. We often focus on these major people and events. However, pupils will be introduced in this lesson to the feudal system, allowing them to recognise that for the vast majority of people, life continued on largely unchanged. 4 key flashpoints will be revised and discussed. And the final lesson, lesson 6, asks pupils, who was the greatest medieval monarch? Pupils will use their understanding of the major monarchs explored, alongside the characteristics of a great medieval monarch, to reach a conclusion of who was the greatest. This lesson could serve as an excellent precursor to a whole class debate. You may also like to complement this unit by asking pupils to research another medieval monarch not discussed in this unit, such as Edward I, often referred to as the Hammer of the Scots. We hope that you enjoyed teaching this Pearson unit on medieval monarchs and that your pupils enjoy learning all about it.
The video ends here.